You feel bad,
Yeah.
I just get excited.
Oh.
It's okay.
Mystery Dog appears at Doorstep every morning. We tried desperately to maintain distance, telling themselves she was just a visiting neighbor's dog, completely unaware that she was already planning her permanent day.
Good morning. Good morning.
It had only been a couple of weeks since Bowie had passed. I was still in the raw, unsettled part of loss. That was where I was when the dog appeared across the yard. She was small, still, and watching me with an attention that felt oddly deliberate. I did not approach her, she did not approach me. But she stayed. All day, she held her distance and watched. She had a way of moving only when I wasn't looking, taking a few careful steps forward each time his gaze turned away. By the end of that first afternoon, Seth found himself reaching down and giving her a brief scratch behind the ears. She accepted it without fuss, as if she had simply been waiting for me to come around.
Hi, good morning.
She came back the next day, and the day after that, I and my partner Crystal tried to keep things casual, and we were grieving. We were not ready. We kept a friendly but measured distance, telling ourselves this was a healthy arrangement, a visiting dog, nothing more. Bella had other ideas. She began digging under the fence to get into the yard. We blocked the holes. She found new ones. When we reinforced the fence more thoroughly, she broke off the bottom of a plank entirely and let herself in that way. She was not aggressive or destructive about it. She was simply resolute. She wanted to be there, and she was willing to do the necessary engineering. Then one morning, we came outside and found her asleep on the back porch. She had spent the night
You being sweet girl.
The neighbors reached out eventually to say we were moving and asked if I and Crystal would mind watching Bella for a while. Crystal said yes without hesitation. What followed was a week that turned into more than a month, with no word from the neighbors, and a dog who had thoroughly dismantled me carefully maintained emotional distance. I was attached, and I knew it, and I was still trying to decide how I felt about that. Then came the text. The neighbors were coming to pick her up. That day, the hours after Bella left, were clarifying in the way that loss tends to be. I had spent weeks telling himself I did not want another dog. The empty yard told me something different. I reached out to the neighbors and offered to pay an adoption fee. I did not hear back. Days passed. The silence had its own particular weight. A couple of weeks later, the neighbors reached out. We were willing to sell her. I and Crystal said yes before the question had finished landing. The morning after Bella came home for good was quiet and full. She moved through the house with the easy certainty of an animal who had always known where she belonged. Her tail moved in the wide sweeping way that some dogs have, the kind that involves the whole back half of the body. I watched her and felt something loosen in his chest that had been held tight for a long time.
Me trying to explain to Bella that winter break's over and it's time to get back to work.
We fixed the fence after that, the hole she had broken through to reach them patched and sealed. I said it felt like the right ending to the whole strange circular story. There was no longer any gap to cross. She was home, and the boundary that had once kept her out was now the boundary that kept her in. I would never have gone looking for her. She had simply arrived and refused to leave until I was ready to let her stay. Rescuing an animal changes their world, but looking at this journey, I often wonder who truly rescued whom. What are your thoughts on this? Let's share a moment in the comments.
You in your favorite spot? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so happy. Yeah, we love her.
You having a good day so far?
We didn't want a dog, but Sandy touched my leg and opened our hearts forever. See her journey. The moment I stepped out of the van, I noticed her. She walked straight toward me, fearless, calm, and totally confident. This surprised us because most stray dogs we had met before were either very scared or had clearly been mistreated by people. But this little girl looked untouched by the world, as if she carried no bad memories. We spent a little time with her, and I kept wondering who she belonged to. Maybe she lived in a house nearby. Maybe she was just curious and came over to say hello to the newcomers. After playing with them for a short while, she disappeared back into the bushes. However, the next day, she came back. She walked right up to me and touched my leg, almost as if she was saying, "I am here again." I picked her up, laid her across my legs, and she fell fast asleep right there. She slept for 2 hours, and that is when things got complicated for us because we were not planning to take her. We really did not want to get attached. Bringing her into our temporary home and then abandoning her later was not something we could ever do. What would you have done in that situation? But the truth was, she had already chosen us. It felt like she was gently pushing the door of our hearts open, little by little. The next morning, we made a serious deal with each other. If she was still there when we looked outside the van, then it was decided. There would be no going back. We rolled down the window, and there she was. This tiny golden ball of fluff was waiting for us with her tail wagging. It felt like pure fate, like she had picked us, not the other way around. And that was it. The decision was made. She was coming with us. The next day, we took her to the vet. We did all the tests and all the checkup. Thankfully, there were no serious health issues. She got her vaccines, and just like that, she was ready to explore the big world with them. But first, we had to go home because there was someone special she needed to meet. That someone was Freddie, our other dog. He was quite nervous about how Freddie would react to a new sister, but when the moment finally came, all of his worries vanished. I set Sandy on the ground. Freddie saw her, and we instantly started running in circles. There were tails wagging, little jumps, and excited squeaks. We loved each other from the very first second. Now both of them live together in Sacramento, and Sandy is slowly becoming a full part of our lives. She will hike mountains with them, she will ride on the boat with them, and learn how to stand on a paddleboard. She is going to be a real adventure dog. She is going to see the world the same way we do. Every single day, I realized a little more that finding her was not an accident. It was destiny. Sandy was meant to be a part of our family. Sandy's story reminds us that the best things in life often find us when we least expect them. A simple act of kindness can turn a stray soul into a lifelong companion. Opening your heart to a rescue animal is a truly life-changing gift for everyone.
Okay, let's see what happens when I stop stroking my dog. Do you want me to stroke you?
If you are considering adopting a pet, please take the time to understand our needs. Patience and love can heal any heart. If you found this story inspiring, please like and share it with someone who loves animals. Subscribe to our channel to join our growing family of animal lovers.